Well, if it isn't your pal Exotic Make Ops Blaze. And yeah, that was really funny. The evil laugh. But nonetheless, welcome back to a new Halloween story. And this, yeah. So as some of you guys are by now already known. So yeah, I've had a, so yeah, about a few days ago, I had a little situation from uploading my videos. like like the other day when I tried to upload my first Halloween story video on YouTube, it kept saying waiting. It kept saying waiting forever. Every time when I had to, every time when I tried to fix it to upload it and re-upload again, it just kept saying waiting forever and ever. It just kept saying waiting until, without even finishing up the, without finishing up the upload. It kept on forever and ever, went on and on, until eventually I came across the idea that I had to delete the app. I had to delete YouTube and reinstall it. And and good triumphs, the first vid, and good triumphs, it successfully uploaded the scary story vid. It successfully uploaded the Halloween story. So good job. So yeah, great news. So yeah, I was worried. I was worried that if I delete the app, I'll lose everything I had in the app. But thankfully, the good news is that, oh, that when you delete the app, when you delete YouTube, it like automatically doesn't automatically delete all of your data you saved on all the data from YouTube. It is safely secured when you delete the app, and when you reinstall it, all the videos you wrote, yeah, all your videos you watch from the watch history, and the videos you uploaded, and the subscribers you subscribed, the channel, yeah, I mean, yeah, everything you've done is safely secured, is stay there when you delete the app. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, out of the topic, but to get this over with. So today's this new Halloween story is called Maggot, and unfortunately, this doesn't have a picture thing that goes with the story. But as you can see, as you can already tell by the description, it says about a man who sees a huge glowing worm emerge from a grave in a cemetery. It is supposedly a true story that happened years ago in England, and a version of the story appeared as The Glowing Maggot of Doom and Ghost, Ghouls, and Other Horrors by Bernard T. Herwood. And alright, well, without all the way, let's just sit back, relax, and let me log on as I read this, and let me log on as I read the story, The Maggot. But as usual, as usual, the original link of the website is gonna be in the description below, so you guys can check out when you guys wanted to. But nonetheless, let's do it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this story. This is The Maggot. Enjoy. One bright moonlit night in the small Yorkshire village, a postman named Mr. Mullins was on his way home. As he was walking past the graveyard, something caught his attention. He noticed a luminous, glowing kite coming from one of the graves. It was the fresh grave of a villager by the name of Peters, who had recently died. When he looked closer, he realized that it was a large he realized it was a large slimy blob that was crawling out of the grave, and it was wriggling back and forth as it emerged. It looked like a huge luminous maggot. The ghastly thing seemed to exert pure evil, with a mixture of horror and fascination. Mr. Mullins watched as the maggot slithered through the ground, leaving a gleaming trail of disgusting slime behind it. Snaking in and out around the tombstones, the monstrous thing crawled out of the graveyard, and when it came to the vicar's house nearby, it disappeared from sight. The following day, Mullins told his wife and his best friend about his chilling experience. That night, the three of them decided to go down to the graveyard. They wanted to see if they could figure out what the hideous what the they could to figure out what the hideous apparition might be. They waited, and just as it had the night before, the dreadful worm oozed out of Peter's grave, and it made its way out of the cemetery. As they watched, the thing crawled to the door of the vicar's house again and disappeared. The next day, the Mullinses and their friend got a severe shock when they heard the vicar and his entire family had suddenly become seriously ill. As the hours ticked by, their condition grew worse and worse, and by sunset, the vicar and his entire family were dead. The doctor, the doctor who examined them said they had died of said that they had died of a ptomaine poisoning. This is a type of poisoning that is caused by exposure to a putrefying corpse. Mullins, his wife, and their friend were more determined than ever to get the bottom of the horrible apparition's origin. After dark that night, they ventured once again to the village graveyard to keep watch. Again, the hideous glowing maggot wriggled out of the grave and slithered between the tombstones, leaving a trail of slime in its wake. This time, as they followed it, they saw it go to the house of the village blacksmith. When it got to the front door, it suddenly vanished. The next morning, the blacksmith and his whole family became ill, and just like the vicar and his family, they died before sunset of ptomaine poisoning. Frightened. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Yeah, I just don't know how to pronounce this word right here. And hold up, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. I just I had to check something out. Okay, but anyways, onward. Frightened and more baffled than ever, Mullins and his companions decided to keep watch again that night. But nothing happened. Although they were relieved, they decided to continue their nightly vigil at the graveyard for at least another week, just in case. 10 nights after it had first appeared, the glowing maggot emerged from the grave again and crawled out of the graveyard. Mr. and Mrs. Mullins realized, to their horror, that was going in the direction of their house. They followed it, and when the maggot got to the front door of their house, it disappeared. The couple were horrified, and they ran into the house. Looking around, they found no trace of the maggot, and when they went upstairs, they found their 5-year-old son sleeping peacefully in his bed. The couple breathed a sigh of relief and went back downstairs. The next morning, however, when Mullins and his wife went to wake their son, they found he was extremely sick. The little boy was seized by a fit of vomiting, and within an hour he was dead. Stricken with grief and filled with anger, Mullins and his wife wanted revenge. So they s- so they really are going to take their anger out of that maggot, that glowing maggot. Okay, the grave the maggot had crawled out of was the grave of a man named Peters. After asking around, they found that in life he they found out that in life he had been a mean, vicious, and detestable man. He had made life miserable for his neighbors, and he had a particular dislike of both the vicar and the blacksmith. That night, they paid another visit to the graveyard, and this time they were armed with shovels and gasoline. They dug up the grave of Peters, pulled out the coffin, and cracked open the lid, opening up the land opening up a lantern. They peered inside and saw the face of the corpse. Mr. Peters grinned back at them. His body had not decayed at all, and there was a look of malevolence and intense evil frozen on his twisted face. They took one look at him and slammed the lid down in horror. After regaining their nerves, they dragged the coffin to a nearby field, threw back the lid, and poured gasoline all over the corpse. Mullins struck a match and threw it on the corpse, which burst into flames. Mullins and his wife stood there watching the blaze until the coffin and the corpse inside were reduced to ashes. After after scattering his remains with a shovel and sprinkling them with holy water, they returned to the grave. They returned to the grave and filled it in again. Although they kept a vigil for several days afterwards, the strange glowing maggot of doom was never seen again. Man, well that was certainly an interesting Halloween story about the glowing maggots and the cause of the vigors and this blacksmith and their poor 5-year-old son's death. Yeah, well, looks like they talk. Yeah, it looks like they got their revenge, just like exactly what they wanted. But yeah, that's all. But that was the story. So yeah, so that was the story. The maggots. If you guys enjoyed this video, you guys already know the drill. Like, subscribe, comment, and let me know what other Halloween stories you want me to read. Just just go right to the bottom and hold up. As you can see here, this is where you can find all sorts of Halloween stories. Yeah, as you can see here, you can see all the list of Halloween stories the website has in store for you. So let me know what you guys want me to read. Just copy just comment the title of the story, and I'll be sure to look at them and pick out and choose that story to read it to want to for you guys. But overall, this was but this but overall, this was really a nice Halloween story. Thank you guys for sticking around to the end. Until next time, I'll catch you in the next Halloween story. Until next time.